Hey guys, this is October again, and I'm here with my good buddy Snakes, my power scaling homie. and
Hello, everyone.
and today we're gonna be discussing. Oh, why don't you tell him? Because this is your
Yeah,
this is
this
your
is
thing,
this
bro.
is my topic that people hate me for. This is base Team 7, which base Boruto, base Mitsuki, Sharingan Sarada versus 8 Gates Guy.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't. You want to get it? Just jump right into how you want to start scaling everything.
Sure. So basically, it's a power cliffing argument. So we're gonna start with scaling the Kage from the Boruto era, which is quite contentious, I know. But bear with me, please, and hear me out. So if there's a counter argument in your mind, I'm probably gonna address it. So don't worry. So Kage are able to fight Kinshiki and Momoshiki, as we all know. Kurochichi punches Kinshiki right through the god tree, and he is screaming out in pain, meaning that it's actually hurting him. It's also not an off-guard feat. People like to say it's off-guard, but he's like looking at her as she is winding up the punch. She is working together with Trojiro, of course, but they're still like they're hurting him with their jutsu and with Kuro's punches, and they're matching him in power and in speed. If they weren't like at least low end relative to him, they could never hurt him or even touch him. He would just blitz them, so they have to be kind of in the same weight class. Though, of course, if Kinshiki were to fight them one-on-one, they would definitely win. I completely agree on that. We also see that Momoshiki runs away from Dari and Gaara. Momoshiki is a very arrogant character, so it's not like if they were actually weak, he would not be running unless he was forced to do so. So yeah, from that we basically gather that Momoshiki and Kinshiki skill to the Kage in like raw speed and power, though of course Momoshiki and Kinshiki would still win. So anything you want to say there, October?
I mean, I would have to agree. Like Snake said, this is a power like cliffing thing. So don't be jumping down our our backs because this is just how the story was. This is just how the story was written. Okay, so it's not like we know that the topic sounds absurd. Okay, but because of the power cliffing thing, like all of this does actually make sense. So I just wanted to throw that out there to start off,
Yeah,
essentially.
exactly. Yeah, so like, of course, when you look at it, how the fuck is Dari fighting Kinshiki and Momoshiki? That makes no sense. I completely agree with that, but it's just the writers wanted the Kage to be useful, so they made it like that. Because the Kage actually pressured Momoshiki and Kinshiki, people like to argue that, well, in that case, Momoshiki and Kinshiki have to be weak. They're not. Even if you do think Kaguya is stronger than them, she was still scared of them to the point that she was making an army, and it's definitely like even if she would win, like she can like take Momoshiki and Kinshiki out, they would still be like a big threat to her. So Momoshiki and Kinshiki are still like in that big Otsutsuki class, of course. We also even see Kinshiki fight like adult Sasuke, even though he is like slightly fatigued near the end of their first like scrimmage. At first, he still has all his Tomo and he's like going all out. So they're just very powerful characters. That's just the fact, and they made the Kage be on that level because they want them to be. That's just what happened. Power cliffing is a bitch.
Yeah, so one thing that did want to mention is that people like to argue that Kaguya is stronger than Momoshiki or whatever, and you could argue that, but they would have to be relative at the very minimum because, like Snake said, she was trying to create an army to defend herself against Momoshiki and Kinshiki. So together they could probably take Kaguya out. When it's just them alone, maybe not if they were fighting Kaguya, but together they definitely probably could beat her. They're relative at the very least, so.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of statements saying that Momoshiki's gonna punish her, yada yada yada. I know that's like a contentious topic, but same level, same class.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the Kinshiki scaling over guy, eight gates guy. I mean that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Like we're using eight gates guy that fights Jubi Madara, right? Okay, he kicks the shit out of him and blows his body apart, and then he tells him, "Oh, you're the strongest, whatever." Okay, And then Madara absorbs he absorbs Kaguya and explodes because of how much chakra she has. And so, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory that Kaguya is like I mentioned earlier, that Kaguya and Kinshiki and Momoshiki are relative, so therefore they would have to be stronger than Madara as well, and that's third-eyed Madara, I believe, God Tree absorbed. So
Guy even fights like one-eyed. The previous the God Tree absorption.
oh yeah, so I mean it's pretty self-explanatory, right? Like we don't have to. I don't think we have to go that deep into Eight Gates Guy. Why he's below Kinshiki, but
Let's
I
hope
mean,
so. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. So you can go on to the Team 7 scaling if you want.
So I hear what you're saying. Okay, well maybe the Kage skill to like Kinshiki and Momoshiki. What about Team 7? Where's Team 7? This is a Team 7 video. So for this we have to get into the anime scaling. The anime is canon to the manga and vice versa. It's basically stated that there's like they diverge at certain points, but they always come back together at the same point, so they're canon to each other. And anime is basically more depth and more backstory. In the anime, we have an arc with Onuki, and basically what the Stone Village did is they made Ku. That's a weird name, I know. They made Ku clones, and they are clones created to fight Kaguya level threats. So I know what you're gonna say. The first thing is probably, well, why would the stone be able to make such a powerful creation? The thing is that the author is trying to push the narrative that they are on that level, and they do this numerous times. It's never contradicted that they're on that level. It's never doubted. And we also see Kurochichi, who at first like slams Kinshiki through a God Tree, tries to punch Ku, and he just blocks it and doesn't even flinch. So it's actually a very consistent narrative that he is just a very, very powerful character. And then they have Team 7 drop him on his neck. That's basically what happens. So anything you want to say on that, October?
I mean, just the power clipping shit is so funny to me, dude. Like, like,
exactly.
I mean, it shows that Team 7 is like strong, yeah, whatever. But like, this is just such an absurd topic, dude. That it's so funny, bro. Like, I don't. Whatever. I don't really have much to say on that except for the fact that it's completely absurd. But that's what happens. That's
really
just
stupid.
It's just what happens, and I mean, I understand why people would be upset about it, but sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
so essentially what happens is we have like a Kage who is like in the Kaguya Kinshiki Momoshiki tier of power, while still being like low-end relative, and she would still definitely lose, mainly do the hacks and stuff. And then she fights someone who is supposed to be fighting Kaguya level threats. Like, he blocks her with ease. She's evenly using like elemental enhanced taijutsu, and then Team 7 just fights that character and just drops it on his neck. And also for people saying Kurochichi's holding back, there's like, first of all, there's like no way to say that, because she's just like, there's a threat in her village, why would she hold back? And she is also enhancing her power even further with like elemental taijutsu, so there's like no reason to assume she's holding back. So they just made Team 7 basically skill to the Kage, who's skill very, very high. I know people like to argue, well, Onuki is also matching Ku, so Onuki is like only growing older with age. So how can that be? Like, Onuki is supposed to be like way weaker than even Edo Madara. Again, I agree. I don't understand why they thought it was a good idea to make Onuki like infinitely more powerful than his war or counterpart that was already supposed to be a weak old man, but they did it. I'm sorry, don't blame me. They did do it.
oh my god, dude. Oh shit, bro. This video is gonna get us in a lot of trouble, but that's okay.
Probably. And I know a lot of people just aren't gonna want to use the anime, so we can also take a look at the manga. I think the manga is a lot better for power scaling because like keeps the kids away from like more of the more powerful characters. It doesn't like have like base Boruto fighting Darui or anything like that. Outside of Karma, it's like pretty good power scaling, but they do fight Boro, and I know people hate this statement, but Sasuke does state that Kara Innes are supposed to be Otsutsuki level fighters. Now, of course, this is like a very contentious statement because, well, Otsutsuki level, what does that mean? Orishiki is no Otsutsuki, so is Toneri. There's like a very big range there. So I'm not saying Boro is gonna like fuck up Kinshiki or anything. It does give some credence to the idea that Team 7 might just be very powerful because they do Boro's attacks and they scale above his durability. So that's something to note. And also, it's base Boruto in that fight. It's not Karma when he fights Boro. Up until like his Momo takes over. So just for some consistency, that's also there. It's in the manga.
Yep. Well, so pretty much, what we're saying is that due to the power cliffing, is that Team 7 just they outscale guys so much because of the power cliffing thing that because that they're able to deal with these Otsutsuki level threats, and like you said, like what does that even really mean? There's a pretty good range, but like bare minimum, you could say that they're stronger than Three-Eyed Madara. So therefore, Team 7 should be stronger than Three-Eyed Madara as well.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so
Yeah, it should be
so
like
that's
still
what-
like a powerful Otsutsuki because like the only Otsutsuki they know are like the people who we've been talking about. So there's no reason for Sasuke to like make a statement about potentially Otsutsuki that are weaker than fucking Shikadai. I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, there's only an X amount of Otsutsuki that they've even had to deal with, and every single one of them, I guess. I mean, maybe you could argue that Toneri might be weaker than Kaguya, or is the weakest one. That's a whole nother video in itself. But I mean, even then, that's still skills above Three-Eyed Madara, so it doesn't even really matter. So
It's just basically they have like
It's
very much higher stats. So maybe you want to talk about how the actual fight goes?
So, how the fight goes? Okay, so what I think would happen is that 8 Gates Guy versus the three of them, due to the power cliffing, I just think that he kind of gets. He, like, after a while, his 8 gates are gonna go away, and he's just like, I don't know exactly the time frame of how long he's able to keep it up, but after a while, like, it's called the gate of death. Like, he's gonna die. So even if you even like worst case scenario is that Team 7 and Guy kill each other. But that's like actually Guy's best case scenario is that they just all die.
Yeah,
Other than that,
pretty
I'm pretty sure they get. I'm pretty sure other than that they get steamrolled. I mean, it's like we've been saying in this whole video. This is a power cliffing thing, and we know that it pisses people off. But that's just the reality of the way the manga is being written right now for Boruto and the anime, and how all that stuff is going, and the statements that my buddy Snakes has provided. So it's like there's really nothing that I don't really think there's anything 8 Gates Guy can do except die.
Yeah,
Like-
even if you say like he uses Night Guy and he like kills one of them, or he pushes them away with Sekizo, the problem is that all Guy's attacks are fairly linear, and Sarada has a Sharingan, so she's gonna be able to like read all of them and maybe like make people go everywhere, like, oh, go to the left right now, Boruto, because he's doing this, yada yada. And also, the vanishing Rasengan, Guy is not gonna be able to like track that at all. So unless you like argue is like constantly in motion, it's like it's gonna hit him and it's gonna like break his body. So yeah.
Yeah, plus the 8 gates already puts such a stress on his body as it is anyway. If you were to take a hit like that, I'm pretty sure it would probably just make 8 gates Guy die faster than he was already planning to. Yeah, because like if you guys if you guys do remember, 8 gates Guy was pretty much dead, and Naruto had to come back with his 6 paths power to even put him in a wheelchair. And that's just from fighting Three-Eyed Madara. So, due to power clipping, he's just gonna get stomped. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, he's like breaking his bones while attacking, so he just doesn't last long, and they just have like higher stats, which is like his entire thing is like big taijutsu attacks. So I understand like, oh well, if Kishimoto wrote the fight, it would go differently. Like I understand that, but it's like with what we have been given, it's just Team 7 just slams.
Yeah. So that's pretty much Eight Gates Guy versus Team 7. I wanted to give my buddy Snakes to an opportunity to explain this again on YouTube because I thought yeah, absolutely, bro. I thought the take was so funny, and when I tell people that they think it's so absurd, but when I explain it the way you explained it to me, they don't have anything to say except that they're pissed. So it's fucking ridiculous, but that's just how it goes. So
Yeah.
I mean, is there anything else you wanted to add on here, Snakes, before we go ahead and call it quits?
Well, just if you have any more questions, you can just drop them in the comments. I'll try to answer some of the things you guys are saying. Maybe I'll even like pin a comment with like the main counter arguments or something. I understand people are probably gonna be mad about this. They always are, but you know I haven't lost on this topic yet because it's pretty concrete. So you know it'll be fine.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I just put out my Shisui Sucks video, so I'm already into the making people mad content. So fuck, I might as well just keep it going, right?
Yeah, keep the hate going.
Yeah, just keep the hate going. So that's pretty much it for this vid, guys. So once again, I want to thank Snakes for taking time out of his busy schedule to do this video with me, and and thank you guys for checking this video out. Appreciate you guys. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Please do so. You can find me on Twitter, View from October. Snakes, I don't know if you want to plug your stuff or not. That's up to you.
Follow me on Twitter, and someone you love them. Have a great day.
Yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day, and that's it from us. So.
Bye.
Bye.
This is Madara Uchiha. And if you're hearing this, you better subscribe to October on YouTube, or else you will be the infinite Tsukiyomi's first victim.